My name is Marta Nelson, and I've lived in Ojai for 25 years. And I find it the most beautiful place on earth to live. I never want to leave it. I am having a difficult time right now because of the spraying of the oak trees, because I have asthma. I've had it off and on most of my life, and unfortunately the spraying aggravated it.
Hi, I'm Vivian Jacob. When the Ag Department came around with its flyers that they were going to be spraying for gypsy moth, I became concerned. I lived on the East Coast in the 70s and found that spraying really didn't do anything. We more or less took care of the caterpillars and the moths as we saw them on our property.
Good afternoon. My name is Sunshine Appleby. I am a recovering pesticide victim. The county and the state came through last week and sprayed my house, among other houses and garden, and all around. So I've since then had very toxic symptoms, which the manager of my mobile home park says, oh, it's seasonal allergies. It doesn't feel like it. It feels more like dying.
I went outside the day after the spraying and hosed everything down because I do have animals and I was afraid that the spray would affect the animals. As it turned out, that was the worst thing I could have done because it wet the material again. And apparently the material was on my hoses, so that I developed a rash. And it was a dermatitis, a contact dermatitis, I'm sure. I went to the doctor. I turned in the report to the department that's listed on our slip that I was affected.
A little something about information the state kindly put on my door 72 hours before they're going to spray. They're saying that this so-called organic material that they're spraying is not harmful. At the same time, I received a notice today from the state saying that it is harmful if inhaled or absorbed through the skin, may cause eye irritation, avoid breathing the dust.
I did attend the meeting that the Ag Department sponsored at the local high school, which I thought was very poorly run. They had about 5 stations and you could go and ask questions, but you were getting little bits of pieces here and there and even some conflicting information about the safety of the pesticide that they were going to use. They tell us it's a bacteria. We know nothing about the inert materials. I've worked around different things in agriculture. Some were considered safe in the beginning to the point of where at the end we had to glove up, goggle up, lab coat up because we find that these things aren't as safe as they are.
When asked why they didn't have an organized meeting, they said, well, we didn't want a lot of disruptions. So they were anticipating by just going around from group to group as we settled around the tables in the cafeteria, that it would be so disorganized nobody would be able to do anything. And that was kind of a disappointment because we wanted to ask some questions and have them explain it to all of us. Before they even thought about spraying, we all joined together and said we don't want spray, come up with something else. But after they've already decided to spray, we're at a loss. I have to go ahead and let them spray because then they will protect part of my house and I'll get it anyway from my neighbors. I have joint oak trees with my neighbors.
One of the people that I called at the County Agricultural Commission said, oh, I thought they were spraying to protect the orange trees. Well, what is it? Are we spraying to protect the orange trees, or are we spraying because the state likes to spend money and kill its citizens?
Now, today, I had 2 people from the Ag Department come out. And one was a Mr. Van Epps, and he claims to be the agricultural commissioners from the Agricultural Commissioner's Office from Ventura County, and also another gentleman who a Ben Faber, PhD, who is a farm advisor, telling me that I should, again, trying to convince me to spray, telling me how safe it is. One man, Mr. Van Epp, claims to live in the neighborhood, and when I expressed my concerns, they told me that the state of California can come onto my property if they feel there is a danger with the gypsy moth, and that I could have somebody, as I understood from the state attorney's office, coming also to visit me. I felt a little threatened by them, and I just feel they're trying to pressure us and just wear us down. You know, you almost get to the point where you're saying, oh, let them spray and get it over with so you don't have to deal with this. They also said that if they had to come in at a later date, they may have to use more powerful pesticides or whatever than they're using now.
And as I understand it, this Dipel causes a lot of respiratory problems. And of course, when you can't breathe, it's the most terrifying thing in the world. And you panic. If you can't get any air, you panic, and that makes it worse.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robin Bernhoft, Ojai, California. I'm a former liver and pancreatic surgeon from Harvard, UCSF, and University of Washington who got sick a few years ago, and I had started studying environmental medicine in order to get my health back. And I ended up passing my boards last year, and I practice environmental medicine. BTK is classified as an organic pesticide, which is kind of ironic in a sense because we don't actually know what most of the components of BTK are. You could have DDT in there. There'd be no way of knowing that. Maybe we do. Maybe that's why so many people are getting sick from it. The bacillus itself, probably in small quantities, is something that can be tolerated. The idea that it's organic is partially true in the sense that it's cleared for organic farming, but it's assumed that it's going to be used very sparingly with a squirt gun and not a fire hose, that it's going to be applied without a lot of wind blowing, without drift, etc. So it's done in a way that people are not going to be.
I worry about the health of children and perhaps pregnant mothers. We just don't know enough about it, and they're not telling us enough about it.
So they should be putting their energy into something that's less toxic for people with compromised immune systems. And we all know what's happening to the earth.
As I said, the government is finally admitting that Agent Orange was a threat to our servicemen, and that took years. I even said to these two gentlemen that were here today, I said, if the state forces me to spray, you'll be responsible for any ill effects, and can I have that in writing? Of course, they kind of laughed that off.
Spraying is costing a tremendous amount of money. When you see the crews come out, there are 10 trucks on our street when they spray. And all kinds of people, they're covering the mailboxes, they're covering everything. Think of the plastic that they're using.
The pesticide-free group in Ojai, at least I can get information from them that I can't get from the Ag Department.
We will have a list for you of numbers and people that you can call if you are concerned about your health, the health of your children, the health of your grandmothers, the health of your animals.
I find it the most beautiful place on earth to live. I never want to leave it.